This is about the protagonist is Zeke Adams, and he was a former tabloid journalist, basically kind of scum of the earth, basically very sleazy and everything. He's trying to reform his life. He moved back to his hometown in Florida, trying to lead a straight and narrow life. Basically, to summarize the plot really quickly, an old high school buddy of his younger brother, who's a teenager, was shot and killed after playing pranks on a neighbor's front door. And it looks like this neighbor is going to get off and not be charged because of Florida's stand your ground law. So the neighborhood's all upset. And then later that night, the neighbor who shot the kid ends up dead. So Zeke's buddy is charged with the crime. Zeke promises to try to get him off as an amateur sleuth. And as he investigates, he's trying to find someone else who might be a suspect. He discovers that the dead neighbor has been mixed up with politics and all sorts of also sleazy things too. And Zeke stumbles into a bunch of conspiracies and scandals and big money donors and a whole bigger game than he thought he was getting into. And the bit I'm going to read here is about a fourth or a third of the way into the novel. It's about this congressman from Florida who's the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. His name is Rex Duvall. He's basically a big donor was pressuring him to introduce this bill on the floor, which is basically pretty much against anything he would stand for, but he's basically doing it for the money. And we start out with him kind of daydreaming. It was her big, black, doe-like eyes that tripped up his heart. Set above her pert, vulpine snout with its cute gray whiskers, her eyes spoke of innocence, of vulnerability, of curiosity drinking in the sight of him, even though, of course, the eyes were made of painted fabric mesh. Her pointy ears were perpetually frontward facing, as if to pick up his every word and sound. Her mouth had a slight, knowing grin that revealed a glimpse of delicate fangs sharp enough to kill small prey and to leave harmless marks upon human skin from love bites. Of all the foxes Duvall had known, and there have been more than a few, this gray fox was the most mesmerizing of all. He had been sure at first sight that she was a she because of the feminine curves of her head and snout, her slender body with the curves in all the right places, and the suggestion of a pair of breasts beneath the fur. Even her bushy tail curved upwards in a perky, sexually receptive way. But then again, you never knew for sure what you would find beneath the suit in the furry world. There could be a guy in there for all Duvall knew. Such disappointments happen a lot, which is why it was best to never see the human behind the fursona. Even if sexual intimacy occurred, the fur could sometimes keep the gender identity blurred. That was the beauty of the furry world. You could be your true self while your human self was forgotten. He had to find the gray fox and be with her again. Sir, did you hear a word I was saying? Sneedle was sitting on the other side of his desk, staring at him with a worried expression. How long had he been there? No, I didn't, and I don't like it when you use that tone with me. We still don't have enough support for the personhood bill to bring it to the floor. Of course, the bio-research firms, universities, and such are lobbying against it, but the agricultural states still aren't buying our promise that it simply covers dogs, cats, dolphins, and primates. They keep giving me the slippery slope argument that we're coming to liberate their cows next. Duvall sighed. That's absurd. We're not trying to wreck the economy and turn everyone into vegans. We're not going to confiscate everyone's animals. Heck, we're just trying to protect the most intelligent species from being abused in the lab and the aquarium. We? You mean Frances Woolbottom is. And somehow she expects you to convince the House to pass this insane bill and get it through those cadavers in the Senate? That's why we've amended it with a huge tax cut provision. That's our only hope. There are rumors going around that you're a secret member of PETA. Duvall's heart felt like it stalled for a second or two, but then he remembered all the other idiotic rumors that had bubbled up from the internet and never made a difference in the end. Like the one about him possibly being gay just because he was still single in his 50s. Utter nonsense. Just because I agree with Miss Woolbottom's passion, you agree with her truckloads of anonymous contributions, sir. It's not about the money, Duvall said, slapping his desk for emphasis, like he used to slap podiums during impassioned speeches when he actually gave a damn about improving the world. It is her millions of dollars in dark money that the public will never know about. Don't include me in your cynicism. I happen to love animals. Sneedle arched his eyebrows with irony. Yeah, right, Duval mumbled. His face grew hot. Him being linked to furries was one topic he did not want bubbling up on the internet. Any progress on finding the video?